All right. Hold on. All right. Illini Basketball Podcast, episode 238. Welcome to all the 3 or 4 listeners we'll have for this one total. 12, 23, 24, December 23rd, 2024, right? That's the year. Okay. This is a quick turnaround for us.
It is. We got no notes. We got no nothing, but our breakdowns suck anyway. So
yeah, nobody wants to listen to that. Really just 24 hours ago, we were ending the watch party, really.
Yeah, 2.5 hour game. Thank you, High Knees and company.
Yeah, back-to-back games that were probably a little too long.
Yeah, 44 total fouls in this game. Illinois had 2 guys foul out. It made it hard to watch, but Illinois pulls off the victory.
80-77, the final score. By the way, fun stat for everybody. Today is 12, 23, 24, right? The numbers 23 and 24 were the exact numbers scored by each team in the final 10 minutes of the game. Illinois with 23, Missouri with 24. Where else are you going to get that analysis? Probably nowhere else.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Who was your player of the game? I know we don't have a doc. We don't have anything. We just
we don't have to say that. We don't need to. We unlike a lot of people in this industry when it comes to Illinois basketball, I think we can go off the cuff and not have to have numbers and be all robotic and really talentless on it, really unentertaining. Like nobody likes to watch that shit. And
apparently one guy likes to watch that stuff.
That dick riding fucking loser. We'll get into that later. Thank you, Brady. There, good comment there. I'm gonna go with. I'm not going to go with Kylan Boswell, who was 2 for 12 from the field.
Yeah, that's tough numbers for him.
Give me Trey White. Trey White, little foul trouble, but played 26 minutes, had 13 points. He goes 5 of 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, made 3 free throws, now 93% of the year from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, a couple turnovers, did foul out, but I thought he played a scrappy, solid game. I think KJ's the obvious pick for a lot of people, but let's throw Trey White could be the number 2 player on the team and player of the games at the end of the season.
Yeah,
I thought he was excellent. I think Merez is another candidate.
That Morez would be mine, despite things that I might have said about playing time and all that. I think this is a good number for him. 15 to 20 minutes is where I think he shines. He played 19. He was 3 for 4 from the field, had 8 rebounds, 5 offensive, a steal, 2 turnovers. He did foul out. Went back and looked at the fouls. I mean, I think 3 of them were legit. 2 of them weren't. So it is what it is. They're calling it. I don't even know how you defend that better. So
Tommy doesn't know what he just did in the chat. Move on. Go
ahead. And I mean, you got a little bit of time with him instead of Humrickhouse, which I understand. People still want to hate on Humrickhouse's defense. I get it. Fine, but I don't understand the point of picking out every time he has a bad defensive play. Every time he has a good defensive play, we don't say shit about it. But let's just berate a guy that does it all the time. You know what doesn't matter? Being 8-3 or 10-1 in December. It doesn't matter. Brad wants his shooter to be able to play and get shots up and be good. And you only do that by letting Humrickhouse get out there and run the floor. And you morons, Tommy, other morons need to shut the hell up about it.
I didn't want to step on your toes there. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about him, but it's the bottom line, folks, is the Illini. I'm going to get to a point here. Hang on. The Illini, where they are right now, I think is fine because if you remember last year in the first 2 months of the season, it's a lot of like Damask. This guy can't hang at this level, and obviously different circumstances. Shannon goes out for 6 games with the suspension. Damask has to play a different brand of basketball, which I'm not sure Humrickhouse is fully capable of. But let's not just sit here and pretend like Ben Humrickhouse was not mentioned as an NBA draft guy going into this season. And even some mock drafts a couple weeks ago still had him there. I mean, he's not shooting 20% from 3, guys. He's shooting 35%. And he's gotten a lot of opportunities. He's taken 63 of them. That's half of what he shot last year. Through 11 games, he played 23 games last year. So he shot 42% last year. That's better. But okay, let's get to this comment about Will Riley stud on the bench, starting an fucking speak English when you comment. One-dimensional traffic cone. I mean, gee whiz, folks. Let's be honest. Will Riley has been terrible.
Nobody said a word about Will Riley. Nobody seems to care that Will Riley goes 1 of 8, 1 for 6 with wide open shots.
Will Riley is 1 for 16 from 3 in the last 4 games. Oh, what about the game for that? Oh, well, let's do that too. He's 2 for 21 in the last 5 fucking games from 3. I like Will Riley. I think he's very talented. He's a freshman. I think that, like you say for Hummerkaus, letting him run the floor, get the opportunities, I think the same could be said about Will Riley, which he's gotten a lot of. I mean, he played 30 minutes against Northwestern and went 0 for 6 from 3, including a shot that you could argue lost him the game against Northwestern. That 3 that Will Riley took and missed. Yeah. So there's always a punching bag, okay? 2 years ago, Matthew Meyer was not the punching bag because he won them games. RJ Melendez couldn't make a 3. He was the one where it's like, oh, why is he even shooting? This guy sucks. Oh. Like, we don't have to be so wishy-washy and fucking insane when it comes to player evaluation from year to year. Like, we don't have to single out a guy every year. I understand that if the guy that has been the most disappointing on the team this year, if you say Ben Hummerkaus, I don't think that's unfair. Yeah, but it's also late December, and like the Big Ten play is really what matters, and they have 18 Big Ten games left.
Yeah, and you're going to need Hummerkaus to get it figured out by then. And if he doesn't get it figured out, okay, limit his time. But he only played 20 minutes this game. It's not like Brad threw him out there for 38 minutes and he was just awful. Like, he had good defensive plays. Missouri made it a point to pick on him. And Mitchell is a tough guard for anybody, especially when you're expecting Hummerkaus to do it all by himself. When you're not helping, when you're not doing any of that, you're just like, hey, buddy, go out there and do it. And from what I know, he is the best defensive mind that Illinois has on its team. I've heard this from guys that just talk to managers on the team. He is the best defensive mind on this team. Does he execute every time? No, but nobody does. So it's just insane how hard you guys want to go after one guy. It is absolutely insane.
To be fair to Will Riley, Hummerkaus is 4 for 21 in the last 4 games from 3, so he hasn't been much better. He's been better, but I also went 3 for 4 against Arkansas. I think there's probably a little bit of irrational thinking on both ends of this. I think you've dug yourself into wanting to defend it, and that's fine because I think it should be defended in some way, because we can't just just throw one guy under the bus every game. Like, that's what they've been doing with Hummerkaus, and the guy's shooting 35% from 3 and almost 60% from inside the 3-point line. Like, I think he's been fine. I don't understand why we just look at him and think he's been bad. I mean, his offensive rating is 126.3 on KenPom, which is, I think, the best on the team right now. So, like, for whatever that means, he's the number 1 player on the team when it comes to offensive rating, which is kind of an efficiency stat. So,
yeah, and Morris, like, yeah, he's a good defender, but he fouled out of this game. Like, his defense was fouling. Like, I know that you want to say that. You can say that they weren't all fouls, but at least
I don't know if any of them
going upside. He was going up sideways for at least 3 of them. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I don't think plugging in Morris into the starting lineup instead of Hummerkaus is the answer.
No, God, no. But I don't think that we should try to compare the two. I mean, Morez is objectively
completely different forms.
Yeah, Morez is objectively a much more impactful defender, I think, at his best.
Yeah.
Because he can block shots and he's, more athletic and he's bigger body. But Morez doesn't shoot threes and Hummerkaus does. And he hasn't made one. Okay, Will Riley hasn't fucking made one either. How about that? Will Riley was shooting 50% from 3, now he's shooting 35. Hummerkaus shooting 42% from 3, now he's shooting 35. Okay, the only guy on this team that is a consistent shot maker from behind the arc is Kasparis Yakachonis, who in this game I thought was very good. 21 points. Made all 8 of his free throws. Illini 22 of 23 from the free throw line, by the way. He was 5 for 11 from the field. Made a couple big shots down the stretch, a 3 and a turnaround jumper.
Huge turnaround.
2 rebounds. Twitter stream's not working. 4 assists, 5 turnovers. I'm perfectly fine with the way Missouri plays. Missouri's defense is literally forcing turnovers. That's it. So he had 5. That's fine. He didn't kill them with any of those. He had 1 steal, 3 fouls. I thought this was a very, very good KJ game. Probably the best KJ game, one of the best KJ games in the last 4. I guess, whatever. I don't know. I was trying to make a point of that he sucked lately, but he hasn't. So I thought KJ was very good in this game.
Yeah, people are still upset about turnovers, whatever. 5 turnovers, I think he accepted. I think Brad's accepted it. I don't think that's something you worry about when you got a guy that is going to, kind of put the team on the back and finish games for you. Because right now, Illinois needs a finisher, and he's definitely the guy. So,
what do you think about Hinkle? What do you think about Hinkle here?
Averaging 1 rebound a game at 6'9" is unacceptable and a fair critique. Okay, what do you want him to average? 4, like Will Riley? Like, I don't know what we're doing here. When other guys are getting rebounds, why does it matter if Hummerkaus gets 1?
I think averaging 1 is probably not great, but
it's not good. I'll agree with that.
I'll say that he's like your 5th rebounder in the starting lineup, right? I mean, I guess Kasparas has been a bit of a better rebounder this year, and obviously Tomislav and White and Boswell are all better. So. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Merez might be the best rebounder on the team. 9 offensive rebounds between Boswell and Merez Johnson
on the team.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I think part of why people are mad at you, and I don't think anybody's mad at you, but like a couple people who are disagreeing with you,
one guy,
is because they probably think that you're being like a person who doesn't want to hear any Hummerkaus criticism, is my guess.
No, I will criticize him. I did that yesterday, but just the amount from media guys, whatever he wants to call himself, is ridiculous. And
you're also
apparently
afraid of,
he was
Scott
quote tweeting somebody, but he's the one that actually said it. So yeah. I didn't even read Scott Ritchie's.
But you're afraid of him, I guess.
I don't even know who that Scott Ritchie is. So
you're afraid of him.
But his per 40 numbers are like 6 and 3. Who do you want out there, Cindy?
Will Riley.
Yeah.
It's Will Riley, obviously. I think they should both. I think they should both be playing 15 plus minutes a night, and they are.
And they are. So
are you gonna have DGL play 20 or Jake?
How many minutes do you want from Hummerkaus? You want him to sit on the bench the whole game? Is that what the fans want? Maybe they do. I don't know.
I think he should play.
I think 20 minutes is perfect for him. Come in and get you some threes, then he's doing his job.
Anywhere from 14 to 20 is good with me. If he's not shooting well and Will Riley shooting well, then you ride the hot end.
Right.
Or you go Merez late. So I don't know.
Brad will. I mean, I think this game kind of proves that. So Riley had 2 rebounds in this game.
He had 5 in the last game. He's only had one. Riley's really had like 3 games where he had over 5 rebounds, but 2 of those were.
You guys act like Illinois didn't out rebound him 42-30. You act like Illinois got out rebounded by 50 right now.
I think this is an issue where one side of
he's usually guarding the 4, so you just want him to get the rebound. That's what the other guys are for.
Hummerkaus had 5 boards against Northwestern, 6 against Oakland. So how about that? They don't want to talk about that.
No, they just want to talk when he has 1. So
what would starting Merez do? Seriously, what the fuck would that do? Like, how fucking insane is this?
It's so far away from what Brad wants. Like, Brad wants to start out hot.
Why would you start Merez? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Come on.
Stop going after our friends, all right? These are our friends.
But like starting Merez makes no sense.
I was going after him too. I'm just joking. I don't know. Anyways, what are your thoughts of Kerry Booth being the first guy off the bench?
I think it's bullshit that he didn't play more.
And then didn't play anymore. I thought that was kind of weird from
let him get it going, It's a shame.
True. You have to play both 15 plus minutes. You're going to need these guys shooting at a high clip to win in March. Have to shoot your way out of the slump. Perfectly said.
This is like happened every year with somebody, and like every year the Illini fans, they're like the Pavlov's dog, they're just reacting the same fucking way every year.
Yeah. DGL had a better game this game.
Yeah, I thought DGL was horrible in his first shift, but I think he really picked it up. I mean, he goes 3 for 4 from the field, made a big three that needed it, had a turnover and a foul, 7 points. 7 points and then nothing else. Except
might be the first game that he's had less than 2 fouls.
Yeah, I thought he was good. If he's going to give you 7 to 14 minutes and make a shot or two, that's fine with me. Yeah. You need another guard in there to help Boswell get a little bit of time, and if Will Riley's only going to play 17 minutes and go 1 for 6 from 3, including a wide open 3 that wasn't even close.
It was online.
But like, come on. This is a good point by Phil here.
Yeah, Danger was unplayable most last year, then vital in the Elite 8 run.
Wanting to start Merez is like people who want to start Danger last year.
Yeah.
At least with Danger last year made a little more sense because they didn't really have a true 5. But like Merez is not like he shouldn't be a starter. Like he's been very good, but that's not a guy you start, especially when you have a Visage. Like why would you start those two together?
Yeah.
Talk about wanting to get started off poorly on offense. It's probably what that would do, unless Visage is just playing the perimeter the whole time. Which why waste that when he's got good touch around the rim.
Yeah, and Missouri ran an interesting defense. It was kind of like a 4-out zone to keep Illinois off the 3. And I thought Illinois attacked the basket well. Boswell missed a few layups. He seems to be doing that quite a bit. Illinois had a few more bunnies that they missed, but they were getting downhill. They were getting to the basket. The high hedge on Tomislav caused some fits early, but Illinois seemed to figure it out. Boswell was really good at getting around that center that was high hedging. So I just don't know why when you win a game, there's so much backlash against players. Like,
well, we've been doing this for almost 6 years now. I think it makes sense that this has happened the whole time. I mean,
it's true. We should know how Illinois fans are by now, right?
Yeah, I think we do. We just ignore it.
Yeah.
And we're just like, that makes sense. I mean, it's just
6 years and I only get 200 listeners.
It's unbelievable. Let's just do this real quick. So you kind of, this should probably be like a news story. You kind of helped start World War III last night.
Yeah, I poked the bear. Last night on Twitter, a guy that, he finally put his last name in his Twitter bio. We won't talk about that, but he decided to come at us, and his only argument was that we don't have any viewers or listeners. Like, this is my full-time job, and I really give a shit if people listen to us or not. I love the community we've built, the people that come by and they talk to us. I've become friends with some of you. Some of you I try to block, but it's all right. But yeah, apparently he doesn't know how podcasts work.
This guy.
Because live listeners are like the only thing that matters to him, which I don't think that he understands that Twitter really inflates your numbers. Yeah, he has 5,000 followers, so it looks like he's having 300 people listen to him. That's not how it actually works, buddy. And for you to mock what we do when you literally asked us to help you do what we do is laughable. Also, you made your name, you stole somebody's logo, and then you had to change it because you're an idiot. So
at 200 columns Ryan Evan Troy, give him a follow, folks. He's an Illini recruiting insider. Holy fuck. Excuse me. He hosts Keeping It Orange and Blue, which is apparently, I'm assuming, is like bigger than Joe Rogan, right? Jesus Christ.
Maybe the biggest Illini show on the planet.
Do the Pardon My Take guys know about this? He might be overtaking him on the sports charts. Jesus Christ, this guy's fucking huge. He's a Big Ten correspondent for Mike Farrell, the godfather of recruiting. Holy fuck. This guy must be bigger than Theo Vaughn or something. Jesus, that's unbelievable. And he's a devoted father. We won't get into that. I mean, this guy's a fucking douchebag. Let's be honest. Like, fuck you for like, when your instant argument against somebody is how many followers you have, and then attacking how many followers they have. Like, I've listened to this guy's show, and when I tell you that I was asleep within 30 seconds, it's not a fucking exaggeration. It's the most boring show. It fucking sucks. Anybody that listens to that is like, you're looking for something else than what you're looking for from us, clearly, because that's a nothing. It's just nothing. And I would like somebody who's objective to watch his show and then watch our show and tell us what you think, because I just don't think that, maybe I'm biased. Of course I'm biased, but like, I think his show sucks. And for him to just like, also he's the first to unfollow. What a pussy. Like, what a loser.
Well, so he re-quoted something I said, and he said something like, "Oh, you follow me, not the other way around," which he apparently followed our podcast account. So
Followed me too.
Yeah, so I saw it, unfollowed him, and then he decided that he was just going to unfollow us, which is perfectly fine with me.
I'm glad. I wish he would have blocked us, but it's fine. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can put it out there. When we were first started, he came on our show, and about a half hour before we started, we learned about him, and we thought about canceling it. We ended up not. We went through with it. And so I'm pretty sure that's why I followed him. But I see, but the thing is, like, I knew quote tweeting him that he would want to start something. So I guess that was maybe on me a little bit, but
yeah, I think, when it comes to the Illini athletics world and podcasting, I think this is about as talentless as you're going to get. I mean, there's nothing there. When you talk about the people in this space who are entertaining and know their stuff, I wouldn't put him on the list. I mean, I'm sure he knows his stuff in some ways. I mean, when he plays pretend, like he's a pretend insider, like, in my opinion. Like, I don't think there's nothing there to me. And that's a way to get followers, is to be an insider, quote unquote.
Yeah, absolutely. We are just, again, you guys that are here know what we are. We're reactionary. We're fans. We do other things. This isn't our livelihood or something that we, care if we get a big following. It's like, I like hanging out with you guys. I really love the watch parties. Like Tommy said, that's kind of why people are here and listen to us. This guy can, go someplace. Philip says, I like Locked On Illini. Sonny is a good guy. Sonny liked my tweets. We were kind of on the same thing with Armchair. So I'm glad he's doing well. Sonny seems like a good dude. So
yeah, I have no problems with him.
Bad about those guys. Jeremy Warner wannabe. Yeah, that's exactly who he is.
He makes Jeremy Werner look like fucking Christopher Mad Dog Russo, Radio Hall of Famer. That's what he makes Werner look like. He's fucking laughable. And let's just say I agree with my good friend Rob Doster on this one. Let's just say that. Okay. And I will also say, to mock our following, like our podcast account follows 100 people and has 1,100 followers. Like, that's not nothing. So whatever. Not that it matters that much, but that's not nothing, to be fair.
Right.
And I will say that I think that early on, he helped us a little bit when it comes to some listeners, I guess, early on, like 5 years ago. Like, that was our most listened to show because he retweeted it. But you know what? He's a douchebag, so I don't care anymore. And I wish we never had him on the show, because it was nothing anyway. He didn't give us anything. He's but hey, good luck to him. I hope he blocks us. So
thanks, Hinkle. We appreciate you. We're trying to stay up top, Anyways,
the Big Ten huddle has Illinois #1 in the power rankings in the Big Ten right now. I think Goodman yesterday said that he would bet on Illinois right now to win the conference.
Katz has Illinois at 5 today. I saw. So
good stuff from him.
Maryland at 2, I believe.
Maryland's very good. 24th in the AP poll. Illinois right now.
Yeah, don't forget it. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. So, by the way, KJ, the first freshman ever to score 20+ points in six straight games. So, I think Boswell talked about, he's definitely a lottery pick, the best point guard in college basketball.
Boswell should say the best point guard I've ever played with, because Caleb Love sucks.
It's true. It's got to be an upgrade from that.
And Kirk Risa. I don't think Caleb Love is a point guard, really, though. I will be, to be fair. At least not when Boswell was there. But, Missouri, game's a win. Brad now 4-4 against Missouri. He's 2-1 against Dennis Gates. Dennis Gates, kind of a laughable performance. I mean, Missouri, to me, is a nothing team. They're better than last year, but how hard is it for them to be better than last year? I think Goodman tweeted he was impressed with Missouri. Like, how could you be impressed with Missouri? Like, their offense really isn't like I don't understand how their offense is so good in the efficiency metrics. Oh, wait, yes, I do. They've played nobody. So Kansas was an impressive win. I'll give them that. It was home. Kansas, I don't think is that good. But defensively, they're nothing if they can't force turnovers. Offensively, like I don't think your team being led by Tamar Bates and Mark Mitchell and Tony Perkins and the guys in this team, I don't think that's going to be enough to do well in the SEC. Like I saw some Illini fans tweeting yesterday, they thought Missouri was top 6 in the SEC. No, they're not. No. Maybe top 60, but not top 6. I just don't think that's enough. Like Mark Mitchell can't shoot. Tamar Bates is like the one guy that can kind of score at all 3 levels, but are you really that scared of him? I mean, his big thing is that he's shooting 97% from the free throw line. Yeah. And Anthony Robinson's very clearly an undisciplined defender who fouls a lot. And Tony Perkins, there's a level there that he's not at. He's a fine player, but he's not elite. I mean, he's shooting 24% from 3. Not being able to shoot the 3, I think, is going to hurt them. I know that they shoot 37%, but they couldn't shoot it yesterday at all against a good opponent. And the Kansas game, they were 4 for 13. So they got to do it against a good opponent. They're top 60 team in 3-point percentage right now in the season. They're going to have to do it against the Auburns of the world and the Floridas of the world and the Arkansas and the Texases and the Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Like that, I just listed like games in a row for them in the SEC. Like this team, to me, with what I saw yesterday, this is a 6-12, 5-13 SEC team. I don't think they're that good. Missouri fans can clown me for this if I'm wrong. I'd be very surprised if I was wrong about this. And it's same as last year. Last year, I thought they'd maybe win 2 SEC games, but I just don't see it with this roster. I don't think it's good enough to compete in the SEC. And let's be honest, we haven't even talked about free throw shooting yet. Like they took 37 free throws yesterday. They made 6 more than Illinois. Missouri didn't do anything to win that game. I mean, they made 22s out of 45 attempts. They were 3 for 13 from 3.
You have Mark Mitchell taking probably the most crucial 3 of the game for some reason. A little sidestep 3.
There's 3 reasons why this game shouldn't have been a 3-point game. Number 1, Missouri got out-rebounded by 12. Number 2, Missouri made 3 threes. I know Illinois only made 8, but Illinois got it going early, and Illinois was more efficient in 2, and the turnovers were a big reason why Missouri kept it close as well. But this to me is not a 3-point game by any metric. I think Missouri's very lucky they only lost by 3. I don't think they're very good, and I think Auburn is going to bully them on January 4th. I think that could be a 30-point game if Auburn's healthy, of course. But
yeah. And apparently on the last play, Antigua was yelling at them to foul. Brad apparently didn't tell them to foul. Missouri probably got the most wide open look at a 3 that you want to give somebody at the end of a game up 3. So luckily it didn't go in. Illinois gets the dub.
You can blame the refs for the way Boswell reacted on the last play too.
Yeah, and then a little scuffle at the end. So it's nice to know that a rivalry game is still a rivalry, even though the turnover was kind of crazy with Illinois.
We probably should have mentioned Boswell. I mean, Boswell is from Champaign. He's playing by nose.
Yeah, absolutely. Boswell found a way to get to the line. That's where he did most of his scoring. Had 9 rebounds. He has a knack for finding the ball. Maybe you can teach Hummer some of that. I don't know. 5 assists, 16 points, a steal for him. Although he's not shooting the ball well, Boswell gives you so much. So hopefully that can start falling. The second 3 that he made, they called some goofy foul on Trey White setting a screen. Trey White's foul to get fouled out of the game was goofy too. Like
awful. That was the worst call of the game, probably.
The box out, and then even the one before that where he was going through screeners, and like somebody showed it, and he's like, everybody looked perplexed that there was a foul call on that. So
yeah,
I don't know. Gates came out and decided to yell at the refs, came onto the court, got teed up. Apparently he was mad that they didn't get fouled, but if you watch that back, their big dude fouled Merez like 3 times on that and then threw him to the ground, and they didn't do anything about it. So I don't know. You win them. That's all that matters. And Illinois found a way to close this out. It looked kind of iffy. They were up 10, gave up
I'd love to hear
10-2 run or something.
I'd love to hear from a Missouri fan what they think of the state of their program right now, because this has not been a top 30 program in about 11 years. So I'd like to hear from them. I mean, there's a couple coaches ago too, but whatever. Let's do quick. Illinois, Chicago State this Sunday, December 29th at 1 o'clock in the Big Ten Network. The Packers play at 3:25, so I can do this game if we want to.
Unless it goes 2.5 hours.
I have a feeling this one might be normal 2 hours. Chicago State, just a quick scout on them. They are maybe the worst team in the country. KenPom says they're the third worst, but they're 0-14 with one game that's been inside double figures. Their offense is ranked third to last in the country. They are horrendous in every single way on offense. Defensively, they're 306, not much better. They lost to Wisconsin by 21, which is not bad. I mean, they did lose to Texas by 47, but that's, it's neither here nor there. Their closest game of the year, the only game they played inside of 10 points was the first game of the year against Loyola Chicago by 7. In terms of players that you need to be afraid of or whatever, I guess this Matthew Robinson fella seems to be a scorer who, I mean, I've done nothing in the way of looking at this roster.
No.
And most people probably won't, but
doesn't matter.
This guy is a very scattery scorer. Like, for example, he had 14 points against Cal State Northridge, but he had 3 points total in the previous 3 games. So who knows you're going to get from him. You look at a guy who takes a high volume of shots and maybe might not make them all the time, as Noble Crawford. He had 20 points against Mercer in a loss. He shoots it 37% from 3, which is about the best you're going to get on this team. They had off the bench Saxby Sunderland, the Longwood transfer, put up 14 points on 5 rebounds, 2 assists in the game against Cal State Northridge. He shoots at 17% from 3. It's just not a very good basketball team. And the last time Illinois played the Chicago State, Cougars, this was November 26th of 2020 in a multi-team event. Illinois beat them 97-38. Ayo Dosunmu, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists in this game. Andre Curbelo, 18 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Of course, he had 4 turnovers. Illinois had 18 turnovers, won the game by 59. They were up 47-17 at the half. And I think Illinois this year can do the same thing. Illinois, a far superior team to Chicago State, get this game done. Then you go to Oregon January 2nd for a showdown at 9 o'clock Central. That game, by the way, Thursday, January 2nd, 9 o'clock Central on FS1 from Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon. But Chicago State is next. If I had to pick a player to watch in this game, I would just say, can Kaspers get a triple-double? That's what I'm looking at.
I mean, I'm kind of with Bootzilla here. He says hopefully Hummer and Riley get going this game. Might not mean much, but it's something I think that it probably means a lot more if those guys can start seeing some balls go through the hoop. I think this is a perfect game to get those guys right before Big Ten play. I love the spot that this is in. Illinois has a chance to score 100 and win by 50. So hopefully the guys can get it figured out during that. And then, go play a late night game in Oregon and hopefully get a win on the road, because that one would be big.
Yeah, I'm going to go Saxby Sunderland. I know you don't have to pick one, but Saxby Sunderland, the player to watch for Chicago State. Maybe he'll get the start this time. Didn't start in the last game, but he put up some numbers in that one. In 26 minutes, 14 points. So he also scored 12 against St. Thomas and 11 against Loyola. I mean, the guy's a stud. Transfer from Longwood. Did not play really at all at Longwood, so naturally you go to Chicago State after that. See if you can get it going from 3. Shoots at 6 for 34 on the year. So, Yeah, and elsewhere in college basketball, real quick before we wrap this up.
Sure.
I think a statement has been made for the last 3 weeks that Auburn is the best team in the country by a lot. And I don't want to crown anybody, but my God, is this team good?
Yeah. And are they still number 2 in the AP poll? Like,
yeah, it's stupid.
What is going on?
They beat Purdue by 18. They beat Ohio State, Ohio State beat Kentucky over the weekend.
Yeah. Shocking.
Auburn beat Ohio State by 38.
Yeah.
And Auburn's one loss is at Cameron Indoor by 6.
Yeah.
In a game where I thought the officiating was horrible. Terrible officiating in that game. 6 more fouls called on Auburn, 27-12 free throw discrepancy. Like, if the refs call a normal game there, I think Auburn beats them. Cooper Flagg, that was a big game for him. He had a big one. 22, 11, and 4, no turnovers. But, like, Auburn is killing teams. Killing.
Yeah.
Teams that aren't I said Ohio State would suck in the Big Ten. They must have heard it because they beat Kentucky. Purdue just doesn't belong on the same floor as a team like Auburn right now. Like 87-69, Jedi Broom, who was questionable going in, looked like he might miss some time, but he plays, goes 23 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. Then you look elsewhere. They got Denver Jones, goes 3 for 6 from 3, drops 15. Tahad Pettiford at 18 points. I mean, this team could do it. They got a bunch of guys. They got 9 guys in the rotation who can score. Very old veteran team. Every single guy in the lineup's a senior. 2 freshmen off the bench who have a lot of talent, and then 2 seniors that also come off the bench. So Auburn, to me, right now is the best team in the country, and there's not even a close second. Like, I think Auburn's better than Tennessee. So I look forward to at Auburn, January 25th, Tennessee and Auburn playing then. But I think you look at Auburn's schedule right now, this team should easily, as long as they keep playing the way they're playing, they should be 15-1 going into a game against Mississippi State on January 14th, because their schedule is they got at Texas, at South Carolina back-to-back. That'll be tough, but then they're home Missouri before that and home against Monmouth next Monday. But to me, Auburn's the best team in the country, and the second best team is probably Tennessee. But right now, the AP poll says otherwise, all because Tennessee hasn't lost. And credit to Tennessee. I mean, they beat Baylor, they went into Champaign, beat Illinois. So Tennessee will be number 1 for the foreseeable future, at least the next couple polls, because they have at least the next poll because they have Middle Tennessee tonight and then Norfolk State before they play Arkansas January 4th. So. The SEC is the basketball conference, and it's part of why I don't think Missouri can hang in that conference. I don't think Oklahoma can hang in that conference either, to be fair. And I have concerns about Texas as well. But Auburn's offense, by the way, has gotten even better. It's now 131.2 in efficiency rating, still number 1 in the country, and they have a top 10 defense as well. I mean, they made Purdue look bad. That might be the worst. That might be the worst a ranked Purdue team, the most outmatched a ranked Purdue team has looked under Matt Painter, at least as far as I can remember. It just didn't belong.
And Purdue still being ranked is kind of baffling. I
mean, they're 8-4. I don't really care who you're losing to. They've lost 3 of 4.
And the games they've lost, they've been like 15, 20-point games.
Except for
like
Texas A&M, but
yeah. So
they lost by 11 to Penn State and 18 to Marquette, 18 to Auburn. So, if you're going to be uncompetitive, why are they still ranked?
Yeah, and again, the AP poll doesn't matter. Being 8-3 in December doesn't matter. So, it is what it is. So
I think Purdue is struggling.
Win in March, that's what matters.
I think Purdue is struggling to guard, and I think that Miles Colvin can be a good player, but I don't think he's going to be Lance Jones for them.
Yeah, they don't have enough shot creation.
Plus, obviously, Edey covered up a lot of things.
Yeah,
in the last couple of years.
Absolutely. I mean, that's you get Lawyer to be able to be wide open because people got to drop down. You don't need that anymore, So,
and teams who want something back, UCLA is going to want back that game against North Carolina on Saturday. They lost by 2.
Yeah,
they got Gonzaga coming up this Saturday. Though they got to focus. Illinois, by the way, dropped from 20 to 23 after beating. 16th. They were 16th, or they were no. Hold on, everybody relax. 16th going into the Tennessee game. They were 20th on KenPom. Going into the Missouri game, they're now 23rd after a win. Their defensive efficiency is 11th in the country. They've been struggling from 3 a little bit recently. That's kind of probably hurting their efficiency numbers on offense. They're 218th in the country now from 3. They got to get that going. I mean, a big part of that is obviously Hummerkaus and Riley haven't shot a huge percentage over the past couple weeks, but they can get that going. They've become a much better free throw shooting team than they were earlier in the year. I mean, you look at the Tennessee game, they were 30 of 36, which we'll take that. And then last game, 22 of 23. Wisconsin game, they were 22 of 25. Like last 3 games, they've been really good from the free throw line after, 7 for 11 at Northwestern. Of course, a game where they refused to call a foul, but that's, neither here nor there. But Other than that, I mean, yeah, nothing really going on tonight with games.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee State versus Tennessee.
You pretty
One
much have
game,
the
one game
week
left.
off in college basketball, except for Saturdays when it starts to go again. You got Gonzaga, UCLA, Ole Miss, Memphis, Utah State, San Diego State. A little bit of Mountain West action going on, and then Sunday, of course, the showdown between the Illini and whatever they're called, Chicago State, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And this is Brad's favorite time of the year. He thinks this is when the team gets better. So hopefully Illinois can get better. The guys that have been struggling can get better, and we win the Big Ten.
A lot of buzz for Illinois winning the Big Ten right now. I don't really know why, but I'm still riding with UCLA. I think UCLA has the easiest path.
Yeah.
But all right.
All right. Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. We will hopefully see you Sunday. We'll see what happens with things and whatever, but it sounds like pretty good chance we have a watch party. We do appreciate you all. Everybody that listens to us, likes, subscribes, hangs out with us. We do appreciate you, only if there is 12 of you here. So again, thanks. We enjoy doing this, and we will see you after Christmas.
Yeah. See everybody then. Goodbye.